What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, Oleksandr the Cat Usyk. Get this. Top British heavyweight says that Oleksandr Usyk beats Tyson Fury after sparring both. Fabio Wardley is rapidly advancing up the heavyweight ranks and is hoping to continue his career into next year. Wardley defeated David Adelaide by a 7th round knockout on the undercard of Fury's controversial fight with Francis Ngannou. And he predicts that Usyk to walk away with the belts. He said, them as opponents compared to who they had fought are very different. But there's still obvious parts in terms of where both could maybe slip up or not come with their A game. I think for each of them, when you know that the fights mean a lot more, when you know the opponents is of different grade, it makes you train different. It makes you work for it differently, especially coming off both of those performances as well, both having something to prove. In terms of who wins, I've always edged towards Usyk. I always have. It's probably an interesting one for people, but I always have. That doesn't mean that I don't think Fury can win, because I wholeheartedly do. I just think that somehow, some way, it's very hard to bet against Usyk. He always seems to be crafty enough and to do whatever he needs to do to beat the opponent in front of him. And let me counterpunch. I think that Usyk will win just based off of not really the opponents, because I like how Wardley explained it. See, those guys have fought different people. The only person in common is really Derek Chisora. That's the only person in common they've both fought. And just because they both fought him doesn't really mean anything until they come together and collide and they do their own song and dance, right? So that really doesn't matter. But to have a fair comparison is very, very minute. So based on that, though, I think that Oleksandr Usyk comes more prepared anyways, because Tyson Fury is good at bullshitting people on what he does outside the ring. He told Deontay Wilder that he's coming in at 300 pounds. He said he's trained like the Dickens. And then his father said a totally different thing after his child was in danger of dying, if you guys can remember. He also supposed to have had COVID. He also supposed to have got beat up real good by Jared Anderson, which he praises so much, right? So I believe that over the COVID deal, because there's no way you should have COVID, high-fiving and chest bumping and renting cars in Las Vegas. Okay, so I think Tyson Fury's good at bullshitting people, but I don't know how good is he really at preparing for a fight. I don't know how good he is at that. But I do know that Oleksandr Usyk rises to the occasion like he did with Anthony Joshua. He didn't look great against Derek Chisora, speaking of him, but he looked damn good against Anthony Joshua in the first time. The second time he was okay, not as good as he was in the first. Now the question is, if Usyk's one of those guys that rises to the occasion, I just don't see Tyson Fury beating him unless he fights him. And I think what he's trying to do, he's trying to psych himself out. He's trying to get up under Usyk's skin. He's trying to have Usyk in a sense that in a mental place that he's never been before. And we don't know if Tyson is able to do that, because one thing that I've seen is Usyk has been holding his own. Okay, he's been holding his own. Now, he did say, hey, it's time to fight and time to do this and that. But he's good at control. Okay, and control goes with discipline. Discipline goes with dedication. Dedication goes with hard work. So, if you got all these key elements and you have them all together and you have them all together at the same damn time, I don't see anybody beating Usyk, okay? Because I think that Oleksandr Usyk is good at preparing. And one thing that you can do is prepare. And I don't think no one as good as him can do that. And then, like, as far as skill goes, I think that's intertwined with the whole idea of prep. You have to prep. If you call yourself good, if you want to stay at a certain level, you're going to have to train at a certain level. You ask any athlete, if they don't train, their skills are not going to be as good. But if you excel in training and prepping, your skills are going to go second nature. Okay, so Fabio Wardley, I do agree with his hypothesis. You guys tell me what you think of Fabio Wardley going with Oleksandr Usyk to beat Tyson Fury. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.